dear learners, for this course on turbo machines. In this module 2, we were discussing about general analysis of turbo machines and energy transfer in turbo machines. In our previous lecture, we have solved problems on general analysis of turbines from problem number 6 to problem number 10. Let us continue our discussion on analysis of turbines. In problem number 11 of our discussion states that in a reaction turbine, inlet and outlet blade angles are 50 degree and 20 degree respectively. Steam enters at 18 degree to the plane of the rotor wheel and leaves at 40 degrees. The rotor speed is 260 meters per second. Calculate speed ratio, specific work and degree of reaction. So if you observe, he has stated it is a reaction turbine, and one more hint is that he is asking us to calculate the speed ratio. Speed ratio is always specified for axial flow turbines because speed ratio is defined as U by V1, where U is tangential speed of rotor and V1 is inlet velocity of the fluid, inlet absolute velocity of the working fluid. Let us solve our problem number 11. So if I list out the data for problem number 11, we have a reaction turbine with inlet and outlet blade angles, that is beta 1 is 50 degrees and beta 2 is 20 degrees. Steam enters at 18 degrees alpha 1 and leaves at 40 degrees. Alpha 2 is 40 degrees. The rotor speed is 260 meters per second. That is U. Tangential speed of the rotor is 260 meters per second. Calculate speed ratio phi, which is U by V1. Specific work, that is work done per kg of working fluid, and degree of reaction R. Let us solve this problem. Since no alterations is specified, the inlet and exit velocity triangles will be the general velocity triangle itself. So since no alteration is specified, let us draw the velocity triangle as general velocity triangles. We will have a V of 1, V1, VR1, absolute is the reference, absolute to relative is U, and absolute to flow is VU1 at inlet. Angle made by V1 is alpha 1, angle made by VR1 is beta 1. Similarly at exit, if I draw, I will get VF2, VR2, V2. This will be VR2 and this will be V2. Always absolute is the reference, absolute to flow is VU2 and absolute to relative is U. Angle made by V2 is alpha 2 and angle made by VR2 is beta 2. So I retain the general velocity triangle. Now, no alterations is specified. Let us start solving the problem. We know only alpha 1 and beta 1 in the inlet. Apart from that, I know the value of U. So therefore, since I know the value of alpha 1 and beta 1, so if I write tan alpha 1 from inlet velocity triangle, tan alpha 1 is equal to Vf1 by Vu1. Similarly, tan beta 1 can be written as tan beta 1 can be written as Vf1 by Vu1 minus U. So therefore, if I equate for Vf1 equating for Vf1, I can write it as tan alpha 1 into Vu1 is equal to tan beta 1 into Vu1 minus V. So therefore, if I solve this, I can find the value of Vu1. Alpha 1 is known. So tan of 18 degrees into Vu1 is equal to beta 1 is known as 50 degrees. Tan of 50 degrees into Vu1 minus U is 260 meters per second. So therefore, the value of Vu1 will be Vu1 is equal to 357.46 meters per second. I took this approach because we know the value of alpha 1 and beta 1. For these two, Vf1 is common. So therefore, I thought, let me solve like this. So when I went to solve like this, I got the answer for Vu1. Now I can find the value of V1 by using the general equation, that is sin alpha 1. Sin alpha 1 is equal to, so cos alpha 1 I should write, right? So cos alpha 1 is equal to Vu1 by V1. So therefore, I will get the value of V1. V1 is equal to Vu1 by cos alpha 1. Vu1 is 357.46 divided by cos of alpha 1 is 18 degrees. So V1 is 375.86 meters per second. Now I can find the value of Vf1 by using sin alpha 1. So if I use sin alpha 1 is Vf1 by V1, hence the value of Vf1 will be V1 sin alpha 1. V1 is known into sin of 18 degrees, which is equal to 116.15 meters per second. So we know we have calculated Vu1, we have calculated Vf1, V1, alpha 1 and beta 1 are given, U is also known. So find the value of Vr1. So Vr1 can be calculated by using sin beta 1. So if we use sin beta 1, we can write it as Vf1 by Vr1, hence the value of Vr1 will be Vf1 by sin beta 1. Vf1 by sin of beta 1 is 50 degrees. Vr1 is 151.62 meters per second. So we have calculated all the values or all the components of velocities and angles in unit velocity triangle. Let us move for exit velocity triangle. If I move for exit velocity triangle, so same procedure I should repeat because we know the value of beta 2 and alpha 2. Let us do the same procedure. So if I do the same procedure for outlet velocity triangle, from outlet velocity triangle, I can write tan alpha 2 as Vf2 by Vu2. Similarly, I can write and tan beta 2 as Vf2 by Vu2 plus U. So equating for Vf2, and get tan alpha 2 Vu2 is equal to tan beta 2 of Vu2 plus U. So therefore, if I solve, I'll get the value of Vu2 as, we know all the values. Tan alpha 2 is known, tan 40 degrees. If I solve, I'll get the value of Vu2 as 199.171. So now I can find all the values. If I substitute these two equations, I'll get the value of Vf2 itself. So therefore, using this equation itself, Vf2 will be, so now again, tan alpha 2 is Vf2 by Vu2, hence the value of Vf2 will be Vu2 tan alpha 2, Vu2 into tan of alpha 2 is 40 degrees, which is 167.12 meters per second. Next we have sin alpha 2 to find the value of V2. If I use sin alpha 2, it is Vf2 by V2. Therefore, V2 will be equal to Vf2 by sin alpha 2. 2 by sin of alpha 2 is 40 degrees, 260 meters per second. So the only unknown is VR2. So therefore VR2 is equal to, I can use sin beta 2. Sin beta 2 is Vf2 by VR2. So therefore VR2 will be Vf2 by sin beta 2. Vf2 is 167.12 by sin of beta 2. So beta 2 is given as 20 degrees. So therefore VR2 is 488.63 meters per second. So this completes all the parameters of this velocity triangle. So therefore we can solve the unknowns what he has asked. The first one is speed ratio. So speed ratio is U by V1. U is given as 260. V1 is calculated with 375.86. So therefore speed ratio for this problem is 260 by 375.86, 0.6917. Next he has calculated the value of work done per kg. Work done per kg is U of Vu1 plus Vu2 by Gc. So you know the value of U. U is 260 into Vu1. Vu1 is 357.46 plus Vu2. Vu2 is 199.17 divided by 1. And get the answer as 144.723 kilojoules per kg. Again I divided by 1000 to convert it into kilojoules. So finally I asked to calculate the value of degree of reaction. R is equal to, so since U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U, U1 square minus U2 square will become 0. So therefore we are left out with VR2 square minus VR1 square divided by VR2 square minus VR1 square plus V1 square minus V2 square. So therefore degree of reaction for this problem is turning out to be VR2 square is 488.63 square minus VR1 is 151.62 square divided by 488.63 square minus 151.62 square plus V1 square is 375.86 square minus V2 square. V2 is 260. So the degree of reaction for this problem is 0.745. It is 74.5% degree of reaction turbine. So this is solution for problem number 11. This will be very easier if we solve the same problem in graphical method, which I will take up in our next module. And let me pause this video for a while so that you people can copy it down. Later we will discuss the final problem of our discussion on general analysis of turbines. Moving for problem number 12 of our discussion on power developing turbo machines, states that air enters in an axial flow turbine with a tangential component of absolute velocity equal to 600 meters per second in the direction of rotation of the rotor. At the rotor exit, the tangential component of the absolute velocity is 100 meters per second in the direction opposite to that of rotational speed. The tangential blade speed is 250 meters per second. Evaluate the change in total enthalpy of the air between the inlet and outlet of the rotor. The power in kilowatts if mass flow rate is 10 kg per second. The change in total temperature across the rotor. Now he has asked us to calculate change in enthalpy, power developed. Let us solve this problem. If I list out the data given for the final problem of our discussion on general analysis of turbines, that is problem number 12, air enters an axial flow turbine. Axial flow, U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U with the tangential component of absolute velocity, that is VU1 is equal to 600 meters per second in the same direction as rotation. At the rotor exit, the tangential component of absolute velocity VU2 is 100 meters per second in the direction opposite to that of rotational speed. The tangential blade speed, blade has only one speed, that is denoted by U, which is 250 meters per second. Evaluate change in enthalpy. First one. Second one is power developed for a mass flow rate of 10 kg per second. And third one is decrease in temperature, delta T. So this is the question what he has asked. Since no alterations are specified, that is fluid enters axially or radially or blades are radial, such constraints are not imposed. So therefore, let me retain the general velocity triangle for this problem. If I retain the general velocity triangle, it will look like we have inlet velocity triangle, for turbines. We will be having VF1, VR1, V1, alpha 1, beta 1, absolute is the reference, absolute to relative is U, blade speed, absolute to flow is VU1. Similarly, if I write for exit velocity triangle, we will get we have VR2, V2, VF2. Absolute is the reference, absolute to flow is VU2, absolute to relative is U. Angle made by V2 is alpha 2, angle made by VR2 is beta 2. So this is the general velocity triangle I retained since no constraints are imposed. Now directly we can solve without the help of velocity triangle for this question, because he has asked change in enthalpy and he has given all the required values. We know that change in enthalpy is given by work done per kg delta H is equal to work done per kg. So therefore change in enthalpy is nothing but U of VU1 plus VU2 by GC. This is because of the reason he himself has been stated that VU2 is opposite to the direction of VU1. VU2 is opposite to the direction of VU1, so therefore I should take it as positive. So change in enthalpy for this problem will become 250 times 600 plus 100 by 1. So change in enthalpy will be 700 into 250. Which is turning out to be 175 kilojoules per kg. I have divided the answer by 1000 to convert it into kilojoules. Now he is asking the power developed. We know that power developed is equal to mass flow rate into work done per kg. Mass flow rate is 10 kg per second. Work done per kg is calculated as 175 into 10 to the power of 3 joules per kg. So mass flow rate is 10 kg per second. So multiplying it 10, I will get 1750 kilowatts. So finally he has asked us to calculate the value of change in temperature, that is delta T. We know that delta H is equal to Cp delta T. So therefore delta T will be delta H by Cp. Hence delta T is equal to delta H is 175 into 10 to the power of 3 joules per kg divided by Cp of air. We should take Cp of air. Cp of air is 1.005 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, because we know that specific heat of air, Cp of air is 1.005 kilojoules per kg, whereas Cv is 0.717, which we have studied during our analysis of air stand cycles. So now if I solve, I will get temperature rise as 175 by 1.005, which is equal to 174. Therefore change in temperature is 174.129 Kelvin, because Cp is in Kelvin. So this is the solution for the given problem. This completes our discussion on general analysis of turbines. From next lecture we will be heading to discuss general analysis of power absorbing turbomachines, that is pumps, compressors, fans, blowers, etc. So far we have discussed around 12 different problems on general analysis of power developing turbomachines, that is on turbines. We have covered almost all varieties of problems on turbines, that is inward flow, axial flow, impulse, reaction turbines with maximum utilization, etc. So if you thorough with these 12 problems, hope you can solve any problem given on turbines. That's all for this lecture. See you all in our next lecture. Thank you all.